Good morning, Santa Clarita. Welcome in. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is SCVi and I Lead Schools Eye on the Valley. I am your host, Matt Watson. Well, I say good morning, Santa Clarita, but as I discovered just a couple of weeks ago, gosh, folks are listening to us through Acton, Agua Dulce, Castaic, up in the Antelope Valley. Gosh, this signal is strong. So wherever you're at, welcome in. Thank you for joining us at Eye on the Valley. Our show is brought to you by SCVi and I Lead Schools. We are a network of charter schools with campuses in Castaic, Agua Dulce, Lancaster. Well, gosh, if you can hear my voice, we've got a school near you. We've also got a fully accredited online school. We're actually going to be talking to one of our amazing educators at Ileadonline a little bit later on today. A full K-12, fully accredited online school. We also have a burgeoning homeschool program, iLead Exploration. Several thousand homeschoolers across Southern California joining us at iLead Exploration. If you're interested in our homeschool or online school or any one of our classroom-based schools, visit us at ileadschools.org. So, yeah, we've got our eye on education here in Santa Clarita and across the nation. But, like our show says, we keep our eye on the Valley as well, bringing you everything you need to know about what's what here in the Valley. And we do it all while having a lot of fun. I told my boss, I'm not going to do a radio show. I'm not going to the meeting. I'm not turning in the report unless I can have fun while I'm doing it. Yeah, people roll their eyes. They get sick of me sometimes, but hey, I never get sick of me, so it's all good. Let's have a little bit of fun. Let's enjoy our show. Good morning, and thank you for joining us. Gosh, it is, we were just talking about it, another gorgeous Friday morning in SoCal. This is why we put up with the taxes and the high rent and all that stuff. It is just beautiful out there this morning. It's going to get a little warmer this afternoon, but dialing back the heat this weekend with highs in the mid to low 70s. The sun is out. Oh, man. Put the top down and let's cruise into this beautiful weekend together. It is going to be great. Our show's going to be great today as well. In just a second, we'll be talking to Dr. Jasmine Rise from College of the Canyons. And later on this hour, we will hear from Santa Clarita City Councilman Cameron Smyth. You know, he used to come on once a week on this show, but since he's no longer mayor, he hasn't been coming on as frequently, so it'll be good to get caught up with him. There's so much going on in and around the city that we've got to talk about. And then next hour, we're going to meet Jennifer Turnbull. I referenced her just a second ago. She is from Ileadonline. That's our fully online, fully accredited K-12 school. Yeah, you can enroll a kindergartner, senior in high school, anywhere in between in our full online school, and they're going to get all the support and service that they need. Anyways, Jennifer's a teacher. She also runs the career and technical education programs at Ileadonline, preparing online students for careers after high school. And then, of course, as we do every week, we're going to end the show with Big T's 5 Minutes of Fame. Big T is traveling this week, and, it was touch and go, but he just texted me a few minutes ago saying he thinks he's going to be able to make it in. So he'll take a few minutes out of his busy schedule to help make us giggle as we head into the weekend. So, busy show. So let's go ahead and get right to it. My first guest today is Dr. Jasmine Rise. Dr. Rise is a resident of the Santa Clarita Valley where she and her husband Steve raised their 2 daughters. She loves living here, working here, and being a part of the community. She's worked at College of the Canyons for over 20 years now, as she made that wise decision that so many of us should make. She decided she never wanted to leave college, so why not just stay and work at one? She received her BA in history from Cal Lutheran, so you already know she's a great person. She also received her master's in educational counseling and her doctorate in educational and organizational leadership from the University of Laverne, also receiving the Robert L. Brown Award for her doctoral dissertation. Today, she's the Director of Community Relations with College of the Canyons. Dr. Rise, welcome back to Eye on the Valley.
Thank you so much for having me today.
It's a pleasure. You're a wonderful guest. As I mentioned to you off the air, it was about a year and a half ago that you were on our show, and just as we were sliding into the pandemic, and
yes,
that pandemic, it really has changed education so much. So can you tell us a little bit about how College of the Canyons is providing services to students today, and what things are looking like as we hopefully head out of this thing?
Definitely, and I have to say your lead-in with iLead It sounds exactly what's happening here at College of the Canyons, where we're trying to provide those services to students in any way that they feel most comfortable with, right? So whether it be online or in person, if there's any way that we can help that, even online with an instructor with you on that Zoom call, we are trying to do different modalities so that way our students feel ready, prepared, and willing to take that education to that next level. So I love what you guys are doing at the iLead program, and I think that we're trying to meet those needs of our students the same way you are.
Well, fantastic. Speaking of meeting needs, before the show this morning, I was speaking with Lisa here at the studio. She was talking about how her daughter has had some issues and hadn't been able to attend her math class. But somebody from administration was on the phone with her saying, hey, what can we do? How can we help support you until you can get back on campus? And gosh, what amazing service. So besides the phenomenal service that we've all come to know and expect at COC, what can a student expect when they enroll and attend COC?
Well, I think that first and foremost, exactly what you said, we pride ourselves on going that extra mile for our students. So we want to make sure that students are successful, and we don't treat them like a number. We want to make sure that your education is given to you in the way that's going to make you the most successful. If that means that we're giving extra tutoring sessions, having tutoring in the classroom for people, we have our academic accommodations center if there's needed. We have a lot of support services that we build around the student so that way there's no trying to pull yourself up by your bootstraps and do it on your own. No, you've got a team of people ready to help you. Like you said in my intro, I never wanted to leave college because I absolutely loved it. And I want that experience for our students as well. I want that same team atmosphere. Whether that means that if you're hungry or unhoused, we have our basic needs center here for you. It's both online and in person. So if you need to pick up the phone and call us, you want to have a Zoom session, or you want to walk into our office, we have that available to you. We're offering food vouchers right now for our students to be able to eat in the cafeteria or grab-and-go food if there's needed. Or if you need help with trying to get on CalFresh, we have that. Do you need a grant? Because right now that whole moratorium on evictions is happening. We know that some of our students are in need. We have that available. What if it's just that you need help through that math class? We have the tutoring ready to go for you. So we try and do those all wraparound services. A lot of our programs, students need internships. Don't worry, our internships office will help you find one. So it's really about trying to get there and meet the students' needs. We also have a lot of jobs for our students. So if students are interested in working on campus, making that connection with the college and other students, we've got jobs available as well.
That's amazing. You talk about wraparound services. Gosh, you guys really wrap your arms around your students and make sure that they literally have everything that they need.
Right.
So, gosh, my next question almost seems silly to ask, but you know as well as I do that the college market is increasingly competitive, especially with the world shrinking, and the East Coast doesn't seem as far away as it used to be, and there's a lot of options for kids out there. So why might College of the Canyons be the right choice for someone who's looking forward to high school graduation, or maybe somebody who's already graduated? Why is College of the Canyons the right choice for someone wanting to continue their education?
Well, I think it's a perfectly good question to ask, right? When you're looking at what is it I want to do in the future, you have to look at a lot of different factors. Where are you going to live? How much money does it cost to go there? Do they have the program I'm looking for? I want to be a doctor. Can I go to this place to see if I can become that one day? That is where College of the Canyons is there for you. We not only have counselors you could sit with to see if this is the right place, do we have the program you want, but I'm going to tell you your answer is probably yes. We have over 150 different programs for students to be able to choose from. Our fees to be able to attend class were only $46 per unit.
Incredible.
That is like nothing compared to these big universities. So you want to start your college and transfer to one of the universities, start here so you're not accumulating those bills and going into that loan debt everyone's talking about. We can help you get those resources to make this the right choice. But let's say you're actually in your job and you just need to upskill. We've got those classes for you, and they may even be free through our non-credit program.
Wow.
So we have classes. Let's talk about project management that we have starting up. That's a free certificate series through our non-credit program. You're not going to get college credit for it, but you need it, right? Because your work is asking you to do project management now. So come in, take those free classes, upskill, and now you're ready for your workplace. So that's what we're trying to do, is make sure that we're meeting the needs of the community. Our community speaks and we answer.
Wow. You talk about economic value. You said $46 per unit. Some of these courses, you can level up your education, level up your certificate status in free courses. You guys also, I believe you're still running the Canyons Promise program, where
we are,
where some folks' tuition is waived, right?
Yes, exactly. So if you're a high school graduate and you have never attended college before, whether you're 18 or 43 or 97,
wow.
You're welcome into our Canyons Promise program. Our Canyons Promise program is for students who it's their first time to college. And what we do is you go ahead and apply. We'll open up our application series for the fall 22. We'll open that in January for people to start applying for that. And we waive your tuition. We give you free parking. We're going to be there with your wraparound services with our counseling staff. We have wonderful staff there to help you. You enroll full-time so that we can get you in and out of your degree in the time period you want to do.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then you guys not only you guys comp tuition, but then walk the students through, making sure that they stay on the pace that they've set for themselves.
Exactly.
Amazing. Now, Dr. Rise, the job market is really shifting right now.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain sectors that have really struggled and businesses that have closed, and folks are finding themselves looking for a new job, or just the way the world is changing radically. And it's not like it was, in our parents' generation, where folks find a job and stay at that job for 40, 50 years until they retire. Folks are changing their entire career, not just a job, changing their career constantly. So how can College of the Canyons help retraining folks so that they are viable candidates when they go back out into that job market?
You know what? That's a great question. And this pandemic has really shown us what we value, right? And a lot of us, we were sent home from our work and we were working online. We got to spend more time with our families, or we got to spend more time on a computer.
Right.
So some people were like, now all of a sudden, I would really like to try something new. Or their job has changed so significantly because of that technology boost that we might need some retraining. We have that available, whether you want to go into a whole new field and build on the skills you already have, or if you want to take on a whole new realm. All of a sudden people are like, no, you know what? I would rather work less and be able to have a new career. We're here for you. So not only do we have our career counselors who could sit with you to kind of pick that path, are you right for that? Do your skills and your passions align with that new career path? Because, like, for example, with me, I thought I wanted to be a psychologist when I was, very first freshman year. I was very excited about it. I took my first psychology class, and I go, oh, you actually have to learn about the brain. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. So, you sometimes think, I need to know more about that field. What is it that I'm walking myself into? So we have the career counselors to help you with that, to find that new passion and that new program, whether that be a certificate, an associate's degree, through our non-credit program to upskill. We've got that for you.
Wow, and I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit
Please
here.
do.
We talked about all the different programs that you've mentioned, just a vast array of programs that you guys have at COC. Now, just off the top of my head, I know you guys have a renowned nursing program that people just bite and scratch to get into. Yeah. But what are some of the other programs that you guys have that maybe folks wouldn't necessarily think of when they think of COC?
That is a great question, and you're right, our nursing program, absolutely outstanding. And I have to just put a big shout out to our nursing program, because they have done such amazing work during this pandemic of getting our nurses trained and going out into this field that is saving lives right now. So it's quite impressive. But also in the medical field, we have our medical lab technician program. And that's required at every hospital. So maybe somebody doesn't want to be a nurse but really wants to be in healthcare. Medical lab technicians are there. What about our land surveying program? You know, you want to be part of a building. You want to be able to help the city lay out the way that it's planned. We also have water technology. We have program management. Project management that we talked about earlier, or cybersecurity. If you wanted to get into cybersecurity, that's a huge field that's opening up. We just started our program for that. Everything, or you want to be an actor. We've got our theater part, and look at our Performing Arts Center. Unbelievable state-of-the-art is what we have available. So all different programs, and then we also have your transfer pathways. You want to become that math instructor that inspires kids to actually go into the STEM fields. You know, if you want to be, I'm a history major, if you want to study history and maybe political science going into that law or that political field, everything under the gamut, like I said, over 150 programs ready for you here.
Yeah, you guys have got some high-quality academic programs.
Yes.
But something that I'm hearing is you guys also have some pretty high-quality sports programs as
We
well.
sure do.
Holy moly, your football team is number 3 in the state, got its eye on a state championship. Women's volleyball and soccer are tearing it up. It seems like there's not a sports program that you guys have on campus that isn't performing at these high levels. There's just so many things that you guys have to offer. I can't understand why anyone coming out of high school or looking to get back into college wouldn't look first and hardest at COC. You guys have an amazing program. So with all that in mind, Dr. Rise, how does a student get started at COC?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked, because all you need to do is go to our website, www.canyons.edu, and you can click on Apply. And that will get you started on everything. But let's say you're kind of tired of the computer, because that's all we've been having for the last 18 months. You want to talk to somebody, pick up the phone and call us, or walk on in. And that way we can help you through the process. We want to make sure that we're here for you to start that program. And I have to tell you, Matt, thank you so much for bringing up our athletes. Our athletes are spectacular this year. Please come out and watch them play. Our football games are so much fun. Those gentlemen are just exceeding all expectations. You know, that pandemic was hard on athletes, and all of them are turning it around to be able to compete at such a high level.
Yeah, definitely. They're doing great. Yeah. Just like everybody else in just about every department out there at COC. Mm-hmm. Dr. Jasmine Rise, Director of Community Relations with College of the Canyons, I want to thank you so much for joining us this morning and sharing everything you guys have got going on.
Thank you so much for having me. You have a wonderful show, and we're just proud to be part of it.
Thanks. You have a great weekend.
You too.
When we come back, Santa Clarita City Councilman Cameron Smyth will be joining us. I'm Matt Watson. This is SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley, and you're listening to your hometown station, KHTS.
It's time to experience a pain relief, wellness, and anti-aging treatment unlike any other. It's time to check out Mend Cryotherapy. Relieve chronic joint and muscle pain, diminish soreness and inflammation, alleviate stress-related symptoms, boost immune system performance, and improve sleep and recovery times. Mend Cryotherapy is open Monday through Saturday, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Go to Mend, M-E-N-D, cryotherapy.com on Newhall Ranch Road in the Gateway Shopping Center.
It's time to enhance your natural beauty at Hestia Medical Spa. Select from a large menu of services, including an assortment of fillers that can be used in the face, lips, hands, and a variety of other body parts. Get rid of that double chin with Kybella, an injectable treatment to permanently destroy fat cells under the chin. Hestia Medical Spa also offers Botox, Dysport, and Xeomin to help reduce severe frown lines. Experience rejuvenation at Hestia Medical Spa, located on Valencia Boulevard next to City Hall. Call 753-3434 or go online to hestiamedicalspa.com.
Step into a hot shower or slip on a warm t-shirt fresh from the dryer, and you can feel the comfort natural gas gives us every day. For over 100 years, Southern California Gas Company has provided safe, reliable natural gas service. It warms our homes, powers cleaner vehicles, and cooks our food at a fraction of the cost of other energy sources with less environmental impact, today and for decades to come. Natural gas, part of the clean energy solution. Learn more at SoCalGas.com. Search Solution.
Summer is here. Why not cool off with a new Dunkin Refresher? Choose from lemonade, green tea, or coconut milk with strawberry, peach, or blueberry flavor. Limited time offer, only $3 for a medium-sized drink. Dunkin also has new all-day sandwiches and new donut varieties. Order ahead with the Dunkin app and accumulate points. Located on Bouquet Canyon in the Lowe's Shopping Center and on Sierra Highway in Canyon Country, both with curbside pickup, Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub, and Postmates, or use the drive-thru at Sierra Highway. Santa Clarita runs on Dunkin.
The ugly truth about vertigo, and it's not a tumor. Discover the 3 most common mistakes that must change to stop vertigo for good. Hi, I'm Dr. Thomas Palucki, and WebMD chooses me as best chiropractor and functional medicine in Santa Clarita. Something to think about. So, when you're ready to get better, go to drpalucki.com. That's drpalucki.com to schedule your free consultation now.
No words can describe the power of belonging to a group of close friends or being part of a family. Insight Treatment Center was founded more than 20 years ago to give teenagers a community of friends and family as they overcome issues like depression, anxiety, and trauma. The new Santa Clarita location is a COVID-secure environment where distance and good airflow are a priority. As a leader in providing intensive outpatient treatment to teenagers, Insight Treatment Center in Santa Clarita is here to help. Call 888-295-9995 or go online to insighttreatment.com.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, inventor of MyPillow, here to tell you about my Giza Dream bed sheets. I made sure that they would be everything you'd ever want in a sheet set. I started with the world's finest cotton called Giza. It's only grown in a region where the Sahara Desert, the Nile River, and the Mediterranean Sea all meet. The long staple cotton makes my Giza Dream sheets ultra soft and durable. They come with extra wide pillowcases to fit over any pillow and extra deep pockets to fit over any mattress. Not only that, they come with my 60-day money-back guarantee and a 10-year warranty. And now you can get the best sheets ever for the best price ever. When you buy one of my Giza Dream bed sheet sets, you'll get another one absolutely free. I personally guarantee that they'll be the most comfortable sheets you'll ever own.
Go to MyPillow.com and use the promo code KHTS or call 800-973-3927 and use the promo code KHTS. That's 800-973-3927 or go to MyPillow.com and use the promo code KHTS.
Your hometown station.
KHTS is the only station I listen to.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is Matt Watson, and you're listening to SCVi and Ilead School's Eye on the Valley. Well, my next guest this morning, Cameron Smyth, gosh, he has dedicated his life to the service of the city of Santa Clarita. He's served on our city council for the past 20 years, only interrupting that service for a 6-year term as our state assemblyman in Sacramento. He has served 4 terms as our city's mayor, including his most recent stint during the whole of 2020. Gosh, could not have picked a worse year to be mayor, I think. But he led our community that was still reeling from wildfires and a devastating school shooting and guided us through the thickest of the unknown of the COVID-19 pandemic and civil strife. Cameron is a graduate of UC Davis, and before that, Hart High School, where he was a 4-sport standout athlete and all-around cool guy. Councilman Smyth, good morning, and welcome back to Eye on the Valley.
Thanks, Matt. Good to be back.
It's good to have you here. You know, during the height of the pandemic, I know you know, gosh, you probably try to shake the memories now, but not all of our listeners know you were so gracious with our show. At one point, you were calling in every week to update us and put up with my goofiness. You've made service to Santa Clarita a lifestyle, but it's not even your day job. You're an executive with Molina Healthcare. So, Cameron, what makes civic service so important for you that you'd be willing to give up so much of your time, sacrificing family life, putting up with people like me? Why is that important to you?
You know, it's really something that started when I was a kid. I think your parents, like all of us, were influenced by our parents, and both of my parents gave their careers to serving Santa Clarita. Both of them were were educators with my mom as a teacher in the Newhall School District, and then my dad serving as superintendent of the Hart School District, and then we were transitioning to his government service with serving on the council, and and even when he retired from that, he did work for the Congressman McKeon at the time, handling all of the military academy appointments, and so giving back and being part of your community was something that both my brother and I were raised in, and we both chose a similar path of service. My brother's actually going to, at the end of this year, will be retiring from the Air Force as a full colonel, and so he chose that path, and I chose another path with elected office. So it's just something that's always been been a part of the family and part of what we were raised in. And I know 2020 was tough, but I also think that you're put in certain situations for a reason, and using all of my years of experience were really put to the test in 2020, and that's why I was there. And I think coming on your show every week was critical to communicate to the residents, because we forget how little information there was,
right?
When it all started, and how much of a need there was for local information. We would get things from the state or the county, but people were still very interested in what was happening here in Santa Clarita. And so utilizing your show and other platforms was a way for me to get that latest information out, because it was changing daily, as you know.
It was changing daily, and things seemed so dark and so uncertain, and the only thing that everybody kept saying was, gosh, we've never been through anything like this. And you're right, there was so little information out there during a time when leadership was crucial, and our community was so fortunate to have your leadership to kind of walk us through this and let us know that, it's uncertain, it's dark, but we're going to get through this. We're going to be fine. So we're so grateful for your service, grateful for your brother's service, and congratulations to him on his retirement. Now, you continue with City Council, and we've got Mayor Bill Miranda now at the helm, but the work that all five of you do on the council is so important. Tomorrow's a big day for our city. We've waited a long time for this, the opening of the Canyon Country Community Center. So can you talk a little bit about the community center? How's this location going to serve our community, and why is this center so significant?
Yeah, Matt, it's really exciting, and to your point, while things were tough in 2020 and a lot of communities shut down completely, Santa Clarita didn't. We kept moving forward on projects that were important, and that led to 2021 being a very good year. I kind of joke with Bill now that he gets all the good stuff, and, which is okay, and because it is something that the city has done as a whole, and it started off with the opening of the Cube, which the city was able to purchase the old ice station and transform it into this beautiful destination facility. A couple weeks ago, we opened up the new 46,000 square foot sheriff station there on Golden Valley Road, which is unquestionably the finest facility in the county for our law enforcement officers. And then, as you said, tomorrow we are able to open up the brand new community center in Canyon Country there on the corner of Soledad and Sierra Highway. And anybody that has history and knew what that corner looked like previously, to see the transformation of it, and it to becoming a focal point for the community is really why I think most of us are on the city council, and to demonstrate that's what you can do at local government when you work together, you have a goal, and you work with the community. And again, I would, and I think everyone will agree, when you show up to that tomorrow or any time, I will put that community center head to head against any other community center in LA County. It is a beautiful multi-use facility that is going to really be I hate, it's kind of a cliche, but really a crown jewel for that community and Canyon Country, because it's an amazing facility.
Oh, gosh, that is fantastic. And you're right. When you talked about Santa Clarita staying busy during 2020, when so many communities were literally locked down, right? You and I talked on the air about other cities that were locking up their park facilities, locking swings to the side of the post so kids couldn't swing in the park. But it wasn't just about, and although we were able to do it and it was important, keeping our parks open, keeping our trails open. I thought it was so funny, east of the 5, you could hike wherever you wanted. You go west of the 5 where it's no longer city property and the hiking trails were shut down. But it wasn't about that. The progress, the infrastructure, all the development, all these different things continued on so that we can celebrate days like tomorrow. So let's talk about some. Go ahead.
Just lastly, one last, that we did a little bit of a delay, but we also this year approved, and you'll start seeing construction on 4 new multi-use fields at Central Park.
Oh, wow.
To add to that, the need there. That'll, we put that on hold a little bit because, a lot of our all of our high schools and a lot of our youth track programs use the cross-country course there for their facilities, for their home meets. So now that we're through the cross-country season, we'll be moving forward with that. So you'll get a redesigned, next year there'll be a redesigned cross-country course. We'll be redesigning the disc golf course, which is very popular there as well. And you'll have, 4 brand new multi-use fields at Central Park next year as well.
That's fantastic to hear. I know Engineer Andrew's going to be thrilled about the redesign of the disc course. He's a big disc golf fan. Gosh, you're right. And Central Park has become this huge hub of service to our community, to our schools. I remember being on the practice field at Saugus High when I was growing up, and they were harvesting broccoli over there where Central Park is now, and
sure.
it was awful, man. It was terrible. So glad that the park is expanding. Now, speaking of expanding, well, I don't know if it's expansion, but there's a little bit of a hubbub going on at City Hall. You guys were recently, for a second time, I believe, threatened with litigation over the idea of districting our city council seats, where rather than being at-large elections, that we may be required to go into districting. This isn't a new issue. Can you tell us a little bit about the history of the idea of districting in the city of Santa Clarita and where it stands now? What's kind of going on with that?
Sure. So it started really and not just in Santa Clarita, but really statewide, right around after the last census, after the 2012 census. There were about 3 or 4 lawyers up and down the state that saw an opportunity to basically threaten cities with litigation that if they didn't go, not just cities, but all jurisdictions, that if they didn't go to districts, they would sue them under the Voting Rights Act and resulting in large settlements. And many cities and jurisdictions chose the settlement route to avoid litigation and go to districts, which included every elected body in the Santa Clarita Valley has now moved to districts. All of our school boards and water boards. The city did get sued, but reached a settlement that did not include districts. The main part of the city settlement was changing the election date. Our city elections used to be in April, and you would have a very low turnout. And by changing it to and tying it to the November general election, you have huge turnouts. Now, you look at, I think when I was first in 2004, my reelection, I got the most votes in the city's history at that point, and it was 7,000 votes. And you move it to 2020, sure, and I received 57,000 votes. And so, and that's because you tie it to a presidential election. Mm-hmm. You have more people participating. So that was the agreement then. In February of 2020, a different attorney noticed that Santa Clarita had not gone to districts, and so began the process of legal threats. We had kind of started that discussion, but then obviously a month later, the pandemic hit, and so all of that was placed on hold. And now we've received a letter last week from that attorney, basically saying now, if you don't go to districts and approve this map that I've drawn, we're going to sue you. So, we're kind of watching to see what happens with that. And in the meantime, the city of Santa Monica also was sued to go to districts, and they actually won their case and did not have to go to districts. It's been appealed to the state Supreme Court. And so obviously we're watching that as well because, I think how the Supreme Court ends up ruling, will ultimately have, a significant impact on, the issue of districting, whether it be cities or not. So not much more I can tell because it's of, threat of litigation.
Sure,
but,
I get that.
But it is something that, could affect the 2022 election cycle for sure.
Yeah, certainly. So you mentioned that you guys reached a settlement previously. Is this something that if you reach a settlement again or it goes to court and you guys win, that next year another lawyer could come down the road and sue you guys for the same exact thing?
Well, I think that's the understanding is that you're right, that the attorney that we settled with is still suing other cities and jurisdictions, but couldn't sue us because they've settled. But it doesn't, right? I guess it doesn't inoculate us, if you will, from other plaintiffs.
So you guys have got to basically settle with every attorney in the country. Ridiculous. Okay, well, he is Santa Clarita City Councilman Cameron Smyth. We've got to take a quick break, but he will be right back with us to continue talking about what's going on in our community. I'm Matt Watson. You're listening to SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. We'll be right back on your hometown station, KHTS.
Moms, dads, this is Cardin Ellis, owner of Unipest. If your house has ants, spiders, or gophers, or you want a free orange oil termite inspection, you have to call Unipest Termite and Pest Control, Santa Clarita's only factory-certified orange oil pest control company. We specialize in organic, low-impact, and traditional pest control options that are all kid-friendly, pet-friendly, and affordable with no contracts, and we're SCV owned and operated. Call us at 661-BUG-7575 or visit unipest.com.
Experience Frontier Toyota's all-new hot and exciting Toyota lineup. Serving the Santa Clarita Valley for over 30 years. Frontier Toyota, the Camry, Corolla, and Prius Kings. They're tops in Tacoma and Tundra trucks. Frontier Toyota, the new way of car buying. Shop from home at frontiertoyota.com or visit their showroom at Valencia and Creekside. Discover a whole new car buying experience with your friends at Frontier Toyota.
Cte Canyon Landfill takes the waste from our homes and local businesses and puts it to good use. With cutting-edge clean energy technology, Cte Canyon powers 10,000 homes each year by harnessing the methane gas from the landfill. So, the next time you wheel your trash can to the curb, feel good that your waste is on its way to making green energy at Cte Canyon.
Cte Canyon Landfill, our partner in sustainable living.
Excellence isn't just a word, it is what we deliver. Vanguard Protection Group is committed to providing its clients with the highest echelon of protective services available. Our clients not only receive the security services they contract for, but also reports that are well-written, articulate, and thorough. Our patrol officers operate at the highest levels and have an impressive rapport with local law enforcement. With military, police, private policing, and courtroom experience, you can trust that we have the strength to deliver our promise of excellence. Contact Vanguard Protection by calling 661-753-3611 or visiting their website at vanguardprotectiongroup.com.
Accidents happen, but rest assured Patterson's Collision Center is here to help. Patterson's is a family-owned and operated collision repair facility providing the Santa Clarita Valley with premium collision repairs. Patterson's prides itself on being the only California-certified green repair shop in all of Santa Clarita. They are insurance claim specialists and even offer payment plans for your deductible. For personalized, friendly service, visit pattersonscollisioncenter.com. or call 294-1011 and let Patterson's Collision Center help ease your worries today.
Make your winter count at College of the Canyons. Pick up a 5-week class to explore new interests, transfer to a 4-year university earlier, or launch your career. Affordable online classes are offered at your convenience. Winter session begins January 3rd and registration is going on now. Seats are open in Asian art history, introduction to business, film aesthetics, intercultural communication, and more. For a full list of open classes at College of the Canyons, visit canyons.edu/schedule.
Why did Mercedes-Benz of Valencia win the Dealer of Excellence Award in 2019?
Because we strive to provide the most outstanding sales experience.
Mercedes-Benz of Valencia COO Chris Paz.
We know you have high expectations. Our stellar team will meet and exceed your expectations. That's why we were named Mercedes Best of the Best, placing us in the top 10% of all Mercedes dealers nationwide.
Find out how you can lease a new Mercedes for unbelievably low monthly payments. Details at mbzvalencia.com.
Your hometown station, KHTS.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is Matt Watson, and you're listening to SCVi and Ilead Schools' Eye on the Valley. City Councilman Cameron Smyth joins me this morning, and we're so grateful. Cameron, you, as I mentioned, joined us throughout the course of the darkest days of the pandemic, and you talked about some of the things that we continue to do to grow our city and make it an even better place to live. And gosh, it just continues to pay off. You know, recently, recently our city has received a couple of accolades, being named among the top 10 most business-friendly cities in LA County, as well as America's 8th safest mid-sized city. And, we've been safe and business-friendly pretty much ever since I can remember, and I've lived in this community for over 4 decades. But these things don't just happen, right? It doesn't just, oh gosh, great, we're safe again, or still. You've played a huge role in creating that climate for a long time. So what goes into creating a community and an economic environment like our city enjoys?
You know, it's really a combination of not only the council, certainly with with our philosophies and our policies that we try to implement, but it is, a lot of credit goes to our city staff, who are the ones implementing the policies and doing a lot of that day-to-day interface with our local businesses. And, to add to those accolades has been our annual award for our fiscal management of taxpayer dollars. And because of that, we're able to avoid having to implement any use taxes or business taxes to cover costs for city services. It's our fiscal management that allowed us to acquire the ice station during a global economic pause, if you will. We were still in a strong enough fiscal position to make that acquisition and to make those changes. And so that's an overall philosophy of the city. But also when it comes to public safety, that's it really is a testament to our entire community, because year after year the state legislature makes California as a whole less and less safe, to be honest, by reducing sentences or eliminating what constitutes as a crime, and the releasing folks without spending any time, and the fact that we are still rated amongst the safest communities in the country, despite the challenges that we have in California that other mid-sized cities in other parts of the country do not have, and are and that's a testament to the commitment of our law enforcement, and I think many of whom live here.
Yes.
And so they don't just come to work in Santa Clarita. This is their community too. They're they're coaching their kids. They're doing school pickup and drop off, and they're invested in Santa Clarita just as much as the rest of us. And so we hope by having that new station, we're giving them the resources they need to keep us as one of the safest communities in the country.
Absolutely. It's so important in keeping this area the amazing place to live that it is. And Speaking of amazing, we've got some events coming up. You know, during your most recent term as mayor, COVID really shut down a lot of these hallmark events in our annual calendar, but they're starting to come back. Can you tell us about some of the events that we've got coming up as we head into the holidays?
Yeah, like I said, we had to pause, and it was the right thing to do, of course.
Sure.
But we paused our Veterans Day ceremony, our Light Up Main Street, and both of those are coming back. So on November 11th, we'll at 11 a.m. we'll be doing our Veterans Day ceremony there at the Veterans Plaza in Old Town New Hall, and then on the 20th of November we'll be back to our normal Light Up Main Street. That we'll be able to close down Main Street and to traffic and you've got your businesses are open, the sip and stroll, and activities for the kids, and really hope that we can kind of kick start the holidays and give our local businesses there that jolt that they need. They've been struggling, we know, for the last couple of years, and getting those big crowds back down to Main Street will be a great way to start the holidays and to help support our local small businesses down there.
Looking forward to it. City Councilman, four-time mayor, varsity letterman, and consistently best-dressed elected official in town, Cameron Smyth, thank you so much for joining us on the air this morning, sir.
Always appreciate it, my friend.
You have a good weekend. I am Matt Watson, and you're listening to SCVi and Ilead School's Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KHTS.
Sweet, salty, tastiest, bacon and pancakiest. Big yawns are okay, yummy syrups, yes way. Butter pecan, blueberry, old-fashioned strawberry. Never empty coffee pot, Mom says it hits the spot. Almonds are the fluffiest, Dad's hugs the scruffiest. Scrambled eggy, pepper shaky, orange juicy, wide awake. Stuffed French toastiest, waffles with the mustiest. Buttermilky, smooth, silky, tastes great. Love on a plate.
IHOP, everything you love about breakfast.
Mark Schneider and daughter Kaylee for Pacific Air.
Okay, team. I called this meeting to look at new ways we can super serve our Pac Air customers. Matt, what do you got for us this week?
We're educating customers about how to improve their comfort and lower their energy bills by investing in better attic insulation. The Department of Energy reports that homeowners can be more comfortable and reduce heating and cooling costs by up to 50% just by improving their attic insulation. That's why Pacific Air's team created the WOW Comfort Attic Package. Our WOW Comfort Attic Package is a 4-step attic solution to help solve the problem of poor attic insulation.
Great. I love the way we're always educating and improving our WOW service that we give our customers. Remember, team, here at Pacific Air, our goal is to always give service so good, they're going to say, okay, Kaylee.
Wow! For the guys in the orange truck, that's Pacific Air. When you want the best, call Pacific Air.
For questions about our WOW Comfort Attic Package and your attic, contact us today at pacair.com. PACAIRE.com. Remember, without the E, it's just air.
Comfort Keepers provides your loved one with loving in-home care.
Miles McNamara, certified senior advisor and owner of Comfort Keepers in-home care.
Our caregivers can help you in your own home, enhancing independence, creating safety and comfort. Our Comfort Keepers provide companionship, meal preparation, medication reminders, assistance with personal care, and even transportation to doctor's appointments. If someone you love can use a helping hand at home, visit comfortkeepers.com.
Or call 287-4200.
When you think about your next place, maybe even your forever place, are you hearing more of this and less of this? Introducing 5 Point Valencia, a vibrant new community coming to the Santa Clarita Valley, a place with parks, trails, and fresh architecture, all tuned to the way people want to live today. New homes for all, with prices to match, from the low 400,000s to over $1 million. Learn more at valencia.com.
Get ready to discover a creative new way to have fun. Painting with a twist. We'll show you step by step how to make fun art, not fine art. It's painting, it's dancing, it's a party. Painting with a twist. It's a little bit of paint, a little bit of wine, and a whole lot of fun. Visit paintingwithatwist.com to find the studio nearest you.
Now located in the patios at Valencia Westfield Mall, Google Painting with a Twist Santa Clarita for a new kind of fun.
A Royal Suite Home Furnishings has been family-owned and operated in Santa Clarita since 1978. They keep America working by stocking heritage-quality furniture made right here in the USA. With high-end design and thousands of fabrics to choose from, a Royal Suite offers a wide selection of furniture at incredibly low prices. Pay 0% interest with your approved credit for 12, 24, 36, or 48 months. See store for details. Visit A Royal Suite, massive showroom on Carl Boyer Drive near Sam's Club in Santa Clarita.
A Royal Suite.
Sweet dreams. KHTS, AM 1220 and 98.1 FM Santa Clarita. It's 9 o'clock. Time for national news on KHTS.
What amounts to an apology from the U.S. to France. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. President Biden saying moments ago what we did was clumsy after the dust-up over a security pact that sunk an Australian submarine deal with France. He just met with the French president after another high-profile meeting in Rome where Fox's Simon Owen is live.
Lisa, President Biden says Pope Francis told him he should keep receiving communion, a notable intervention because U.S. bishops are debating that very question, prompted by the president's support for abortion rights. The White House and the Vatican say the leaders discussed topics including the COVID pandemic and the environment. The president has a G20 summit here over the weekend and then goes to Scotland for a UN climate conference. Lisa?
Simon, thanks. A Republican critic of the former president decides not to make another run for now.
Illinois Republican Adam Kinzinger, one of two Republicans on the House Select Committee investigating the January 6th Capitol riot, says he will not run for re-election next year, making the announcement in a produced video.
In Congress, I've witnessed how division is heavily rooted. There's little to no desire to bridge our differences, and unity is no longer a word we use.
Kinzinger says leaving Congress is not the end of his political future. The Illinois Republican was facing challenging re-election prospects with the popularity of former President Trump among GOP voters and Kinzinger's district being redrawn. Jared Halpern, Fox News.
In Oklahoma, Bethel Public Schools, that's southeast of Oklahoma City, are sheltering in place. This after a sheriff's deputy was shot this morning. They have named the suspect that are still searching for that suspect, the FBI, among the agencies investigating. America is listening to Fox News.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
A judge hearing arguments about the finances of a prominent lawyer who's facing multiple fraud cases.
A South Carolina court today could decide to put control of millions of dollars worth of money and other assets into the hands of neutral parties and away from Alex Murdaugh, the attorney now charged with fraud and who may have faked an assassination attempt and whose own wife and son were gunned down earlier this year. Those cases are unsolved, and Murdaugh could be holding on to great inheritances. Murdaugh has been in custody on charges he stole insurance settlements from the family of his deceased housekeeper. Eben Brown, Fox News.
Attorneys for the woman in charge of weapons on the Santa Fe movie set where Alex Baldwin shot two people says she doesn't know where the live rounds came from. She's also blaming producers for unsafe working conditions. Baldwin is one of the movie's producers. A cinematographer was killed, the director injured when Baldwin fired a gun he thought was not loaded. A major civil rights group is urging athletes not to join teams in Texas.
This letter is asking athletes who have yet to sign with the team or who maybe are considering coming to Texas to choose elsewhere. They say that Texas right now is not safe for anyone. President and CEO of the NAACP issued the letter to all national players' leagues of all major sports teams in the country. The letter states that Governor Greg Abbott has approved new political maps that dilute the political power of communities of color. It also points to the controversial abortion law that the governor signed in May that bans the procedure after 6 weeks of pregnancy. The NAACP also believes the tightening of voter laws puts athletes and their families at risk.
Fox's Jeff Paul. The letter also urging athletes to use their platform to advocate for democracy and people's rights. A spokesperson for the governor's office says in Texas, rights and freedoms are always protected. I'm Lisa Brady. This is Fox News.
I'm Stuart Varney, and this is the Fox Business Report.
The NASDAQ is under pressure after disappointing earnings from Apple and Amazon. Microsoft announces plans to cut the cybersecurity workforce shortage in half by 2025 by offering jobs.
Microsoft wants to fill 250,000 of them over 4 years, and they're going to provide scholarships to about 25,000 community college students. And these are jobs that were needed. We just saw the Microsoft warning about the hackers targeting global IT chains.
That's Fox's Lauren Simonetti. Social media giant Facebook has rebranded itself Meta Platforms to signify its focus on the virtual reality space. And Starbucks workers at 3 stores in Buffalo, New York will hold union elections next month after winning a case before the National Labor Relations Board. If successful, the stores would be the first of Starbucks' 8,000 company-owned U.S. stores to unionize. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Lillian Wu.
Is your current home loan the right fit for you? Near historic low rates may be a great reason to refinance, but when matched with an expertly chosen loan from Loan Depot, you could be saving money and paying more towards the bottom line. Call a Loan Depot loan officer and ask about our 27-year Smart Term loan or our 10-year ARM loan. Get a great rate matched with a great loan by calling 866-888-LOAN or visit loandepot.com. At Loan Depot, home means everything. Rates are subject to change. Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing opportunity. NMLS number 174457. License. 50 states.
Thanks for listening to KHTS AM 1220, Canyon Country, California. K260 CO 98.1 FM, Santa Clarita, California.
The shows must go on. The Main in Santa Clarita is your destination for free online music, theater, art, and entertainment opportunities. Tune into fun variety nights, join a talent show, learn from filmmaking experts, attend a modern play, and more from the comfort of your home. For more information and to view upcoming events, go to facebook.com/themain-newhall or at themain.org. Enjoy the shows.
In today's world, we need to take extra care of our bodies. We need strong immune systems, and B-Soleil can help. B-Soleil is a vegetable supplement packed with minerals, vitamins, antioxidants, and anti-inflammatory ingredients, like bromelain, which helps protect the body from viruses and harmful bacteria by boosting your immune system. All natural B-Soleil can also improve your overall health with vitamin C, D, and zinc. It's gluten-free, non-GMO, and allergen-free. Try it today. Go to bsoleil.net. That's BSOLEIL.net and start taking care of yourself today.
Hey, this is Kyle with your hometown station weather. Sunny skies with highs in the 70s, overnight lows in the 40s. What a beautiful day here in the Santa Clarita Valley.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
The following is sponsored programming and does not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of KHTS or its ownership.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM, where we have got the coolest music bumping behind our weather report. This is Matt Watson, your host, and you're listening to SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. We are coming to you live from the beautiful KHTS studios here at the center of Main Street in downtown Newhall. And as Councilman Smyth mentioned earlier, here real soon, the streets of downtown Newhall are going to be lit up for the holidays. Looking forward to it. You know, it's a Friday evening, and with so much going on down here, Main Street is a great place to spend your Friday evening. So come on down, grab a drink, grab some dinner, maybe a show. There's a lot going on down here. But I digress. Let's get to my next guest. My next guest is a facilitator, and that's what we call our teachers with Ileadonline and all of our iLead schools. And I do want to explain that because some people have asked me almost in an accusatory way, but maybe I'm self-conscious. But people have asked, do you call them facilitators because they don't have their teaching credential? Absolutely not. As a matter of fact, if you go on the Ileadonline website, you will find the bio of each one of our facilitators, and that bio includes what credential or credentials they actually carry. We have incredibly highly qualified educators in each one of our classrooms, whether they're physical or virtual. But we call them facilitators because of the way they do their job, where they set our learners up to do the hard work of learning rather than being passive learners. But once again, I digress. Jennifer Turnbull is a facilitator with Ileadonline. She's a passionate educator and an accomplished artist whose work, known for their vibrant colors and earthy themes, has been exhibited and published for nearly 2 decades here locally. She earned a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree in drawing and painting from Cal State Fullerton in 2003. She began teaching art at a public high school in 2006 and then went on to earn a master's degree in education from the University of La Verne in 2008. Did I tell you? Highly qualified, amazing educators, experts in their fields. Jennifer currently lives in Burbank and enjoys teaching and riding her bike when she's not making art. She now teaches at Ileadonline, where she also leads the CTE pathways. CTE stands for Career and Technical Education. And for you old schoolers like me, no, this is not just a synonym for shop classes, and you're going to find that out as we talk to Jennifer. Jennifer, welcome to Eye on the Valley.
Hey, Matt. Good morning. Thanks. It's great to be here. Yeah, no, we don't just have shop facilitators in the CTE department. That's we've come a long way, I think.
Definitely. And those traditional shop classes are an important part of CTE, but it's certainly not the only thing that we conjure up when we talk about career and technical education. But let's talk about you and your journey with iLead a little bit. Like I said, you started out in 2006 in a traditional public high school, and I say traditional just to distinguish from charter, because charters are public schools. That's another misnomer. But how did you find your way to iLead? How did you end up on the iLead team?
Right. Great point about charter schools being public schools. Very true. I actually have been working for iLead as a part-time facilitator for a few years. I knew the director years ago. She was actually my department chair at the old brick and mortar high school, public school, traditional public school. And she went on to become the director for Ileadonline. And then when I heard through the grapevine, because I had friends who still knew her and kind of kept in touch, that there was an opening at her school for an art facilitator, I just jumped on it. They interviewed me. I passed their little training test on how to work with Google Tools and Power School. And then I just fit right in because I was already an art teacher, so it really wasn't a difficult transition. So I just had that opening, so very fortunate for it.
You bring up something interesting, passing those tests. As soon as you said that phrase, I thought, wait a minute, what test do we get? But you're right, working with online does require some technical and digital acumen as you're interfacing with your learners, not there in the art studio, but you've got to be able to manage the platforms that we set our school up on, which, at least a couple years ago was something kind of novel and new and not many educators knew how to do. Now it's had to become commonplace. So that is really interesting. So you are able to... You worked in the traditional public. Now you're working for Ileadonline. We're so fortunate to have you. So how do you juxtapose the two? What makes Ileadonline different from the traditional public school and then different from maybe the typical online or independent study schools? What sets Ileadonline apart?
Well, I think that there are a lot of things. I mean, it's just a different platform to begin with. Years ago when I was in college, we did have an online, like a hybrid course that I took that was kind of similar in the sense of the platform online. But it's really different, I think, because not only are the courses asynchronous, which is very different from a traditional brick-and-mortar public school, but the learners can work at their own pace because of that. And what I really like is that they can keep resubmitting work, keep going over the answers or whatever their issue is, whatever they're learning, until they learn it and then resubmit it to get a higher grade. When I've been teaching in a traditional public school, you move on. We've graded that, you got your grade, and we're on to something else. So just having that flexibility with the learners where they can go back. And then just accommodating them too, which I think is just really what any good teacher would do, what any good school would want to do, is to accommodate their learners, accommodate their students to best serve them so that they can be successful. But I've really noticed that Ileadonline, especially and possibly the other Ilead schools, that we really have, it's like a number one focus, which I really like. The accommodating the learners, the meeting them as individuals and supporting their individual needs and motivations.
It really is a personalized learning system. You know, one of the differences that I noticed literally day one from when Ileadonline was founded, during the time that Ileadonline was getting up and running, I was running the high school at SCVi, Ilead's founding school. And we had a need for these online courses. Being such a small high school, we had learners that needed to take courses that maybe they had failed. They needed to do a little bit of credit recovery, or some learners that wanted to move ahead. We had some learners who wanted to take Japanese, and we didn't offer that on our campus. So for various different reasons, we would reach out to different online programs, and there were these programs that we would refer to as canned curriculum, where it was, yes, it's an online course. Log in, read the chapter, answer the questions. If you got 75% right, you could move on to the next chapter. Otherwise, you had to read the article and try again. And it was just, read, click, repeat. And that wasn't meeting the needs of our learners. Now, some of them that needed credit recovery, if they were able to click, click, click and get their credits, it met that need, but they weren't really learning. They certainly weren't getting the support and the attention that they needed. The following year, when Ileadonline opened, I had my learners coming to me who were taking those courses saying, this is incredible. I'm getting more attention. I'm getting more help with my online classes with a teacher I've never met than I'm getting when I'm in the classroom sometimes.
You guys
provide such tremendous support.
I have to say, and I've noticed that too, I can take more time with them because it's one-on-one when I'm working with them on a Zoom meet or over the phone. And instead of having a few students lined up at my desk, and I know I need to help you, but I've got others behind you, and then the phone rings,
And you've only got 45 minutes. That bell rings and they're gone.
Exactly, to reach them all. So I can really take my time, and I do. And I appreciate having that connection, that ability to have that deeper connection. I just wrote a letter of recommendation for one of my learners earlier this week. And, I took my time with it. But just I've had lots of dialogue back and forth with her on the different college. And I think it's such a great platform for really building that one-on-one connection.
Yeah. And,
I definitely agree.
There are human dynamics that, we don't connect with 100% of humans on the planet. And so if you have a learner that, for one reason or another, just doesn't connect with you, or maybe just doesn't understand the way you're explaining something, we've got free tutors. Each learner has an academic coach. So there's a team of people working with each individual student. It's amazing. Now,
I have to say sorry to interrupt. Before I came to this school, I really just thought coaches were for like cheer teams or the football team, the sports. But coming here, it just made me think like, well, why don't all students have coaches? This is pretty neat. So it's really very innovative, I think, for public education. I've had many generations of educators in my family going back. And we've come a long way. And I really think online education is getting more and more popular. And there's just so much more we can do with it because of technology. So we're very fortunate, I think, to be living in this time.
Yeah, definitely. And you mentioned, learners working at their own pace. You guys have learners who are aspiring elite athletes or artists or who are performers and need to travel and can't do school from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. And so it provides flexibility for them as well. Now, it's funny. It seems like every conversation I have here at I Lead on the Valley works its way back to COVID one way or another. But with an online program, you guys aren't seeing your kids physically. Was there an impact, or did you guys just continue to sail through? How did COVID affect you, or did it?
I think COVID's probably affected everything on Earth at this point.
That's a good point.
So it did. So it did affect Ileadonline. I mean, right away, I think we all probably realized, our learners are going to be so lucky because they don't have to deal with so much that students in schools have had to deal with the closures and now, of course, wearing masks, staying 6 feet apart, sanitizing your hands. So much, I think that they were able to avoid so much, I don't want to say drama, but just so much that has had to happen.
Kind of the upheaval that our kids have been through,
Yes, that had to happen as a result of the coronavirus, just so that we can make it, survive, But I think that, I did have some students affected, some families affected, some people had gotten ill, and of course we're accommodating learners that way. But overall, I really think that they were very fortunate. And I'm sure they were thinking it too, and their parents, right when the schools closed, like, wow, we already have the courses online. And I really think our school had the upper hand too when you think about it, because we've been doing this for years now, and other teachers were really tossed into the online format, which caused a lot of stress amongst many educators. And, people are trying out new things all last year. Let's try this platform. Let's try this online program and this lesson for this distance learning class and this subject. And teachers are collaborating left and right. And, of course, we've been doing that as online educators for years, but we've been able to really polish our courses and polish our curriculum over the years. So I think that we had a little bit of a head start with that, and that really allowed us to kind of not skate free, really minimize the impact of the coronavirus on at least our learners. So we're very fortunate.
Definitely,
very fortunate.
That is great. And even as we head out of it, right, you don't have classes being quarantined or, learners being sent home for various and sundry reasons. You guys just keep on moving, keep improving. Such an amazing program. But the reason we wanted to have you on is we wanted to talk about CTE. Recently we had some of the CTE instructors from SCVi, one of our classroom-based schools. They came on the show to talk about career and technical education. But if some of our listeners weren't listening last week, can you remind our listeners what CTE is?
Oh, sure, of course. CTE is just another acronym in education. Representing there are so many. Career technical education, and they're courses that learners or students can take to help them be exposed to the skills necessary for either pursuing a career straight out of high school or pursuing that field in higher education. And CTE pathways consist of 3 consecutive year-long courses. Ideally, they're taken one right after the other, although they could take them. They don't have to take them back to back as long as they take them consecutively throughout their high school life. And learners who complete all 3 courses in a particular pathway become what we call Cte Completers. And it's kind of like choosing a major in college. It just helps to get our learners and students at all schools, get them thinking about what they want to do in life, and to hopefully give them some hands-on skills that they can use in life once they graduate.
Yeah, definitely. I remember for years, maybe it wasn't all kids, just the impertinent ones, but I know all kids thought it. oftentimes in high school. How is this preparing me for my future? You know, why do I need to know the transitive property of multiplication? How does this prepare me for where I'm going? And gosh, CTE is the perfect answer to that. It is literally on-school training for a career pathway. So to me, the benefits seem obvious, but what benefits are you seeing for the learners? How are these CTE pathways, these courses, benefiting our learners?
Well, I think it's really helping to get them geared up for planning for the future. I think that's number one. I know when I was in high school, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I know I wanted to graduate high school and be done. It's funny that I became a teacher years later. You know, who would have thought? But it's just so good because I know when I was in high school, I didn't know, and I didn't really think about it either. I didn't think about it until I attended a community college to get my general education credits done. I thought, well, I need to start figuring this out. And it's nothing on the school, nothing on the educators or any adult figures in my life. I just didn't have this kind of structure at a school setting to where they really gear you towards deciding what you want to do. And they align the course curriculum to that. And so I just think this is so positive. I mean, I know CTE is growing all over schools. We know that college is not a path for all of our students, not a path for all the students in the world. So we need different outlets, and you don't necessarily need to go to college to earn certain skills to become employed at certain careers. So it just depends. But I really think that CTE pathways are growing and that they're just going to continue to grow because I think that there's a strong need for this kind of education.
Definitely. And you're right. It is preparing them for career if they want to go straight into career. But oftentimes some of these pathways actually are preparing our kids to be more successful in college as they already have a leg up on their peers heading into these fields of study. So what are we talking about? What CTE offerings does Ileadonline provide? Because there are literally thousands of them out there, right? Just as many pathways as there are careers. So what do you guys offer?
Yeah, I don't know if there are thousands of them, but there might be. I'd have to go on the California website.
Jennifer, this is my show. Don't correct me.
There are thousands. Just kidding, Matt. Just kidding. Pull on your legs on the Friday.
What do you guys offer at Ileadonline?
We have a lot. I think we're growing, but we have a lot. We have pathways in digital arts, fine arts, photography, theater arts, film and video production, business, finance, child development, biotechnology, and criminal justice. And we also have a new facilitator who just got his credential in CTE. He already had a science credential, and he's building out a sports medicine pathway for our school. So we're very excited about that. We're very excited to have him. His name's Harley.
Jennifer, this is incredible. Most large high schools have 2, 3, maybe 4 CTE pathways just because it's difficult to provide that infrastructure, but I guess with a digital platform, it's so much easier. You guys don't have to build another classroom to add another CTE pathway. As long as you've got the qualified instructor available, you can offer it. This is amazing what you guys are able to do that could never be done on a school campus. I want to talk a little bit more about the programs and what it looks like from a learner's standpoint, kind of when the rubber hits the road. But we do need to take a quick commercial break. We're talking with Jennifer Turnbull about CTE, that is Career and Technical Education Programs at Ileadonline Charter School. When we get back, we'll talk about what it looks like specifically for those individual learners. I'm Matt Watson, and you're listening to SCVi and Ilead School's Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KHTS.
Life's real tests are never standardized. The curriculum at Ilead Agua Dulce places self-discovery at the core of every experience, so your learner will be ready to lead in the real world. Our tuition-free charter school is currently enrolling grades TK through 9 and expanding to grades 10, 11, and 12 in the coming years, giving your child the perfect opportunity for continuous play-based social-emotional learning. Enroll now so you can enjoy Ilead Agua Dulce's beautiful campus and outdoor classroom for hands-on learning. To learn more about Ilead Agua Dulce and our unique approach to learning, visit ileadaguadulce.org. Ilead Schools, free to think, inspired to lead.
The City of Santa Clarita invites you to the grand opening of the new Canyon Country Community Center on Saturday, October 30th from 10 a.m. to noon on the corner of Soledad Canyon Road and Sierra Highway. Explore the new community center, watch live entertainment, learn about program opportunities, and have fun at this free event. For more information, visit santa-clarita.com. That's santa-clarita.com. We'll see you on Saturday, October 30th.
Do you suffer from peripheral neuropathy in your hands or feet? One drug after another, continuing numbness, tingling, burning pain, balance problems, decreased quality of life? Are you experimenting with drugs like Lyrica, Neurontin, gabapentin, Cymbalta with limited success and your doctor telling you just have to live with it? My name is Dr. Thomas Pilecki, DC, host of Get Better with Dr. Pilecki and founder of Neuropathy Dr. X. I'm here to tell you that there is now a non-invasive natural solution to your neuropathy right here in Santa Clarita, a solution that addresses the underlying causes, and we're proud to say that we have an 87 to 97% success rate with neuropathy sufferers in getting their lives back. I'd like to invite you to our next seminar, when we'll teach you how to reverse this deadly condition that affects over 50 million Americans today. To reserve your spot now, call 753-9340. This is a free seminar, but seating is limited, so call 753-9340 now.
Loss of hearing can affect the quality of life. Santa Clarita Hearing Center can help. They specialize in both preventative hearing loss and corrective measures, including diagnostic tests, new technology hearing aids, cochlear implants, hearing protection, and tinnitus treatment. They can adjust your current hearing aids or fit you for new ones. Santa Clarita Hearing Center also offers sleep molds, swim molds, and musician monitors. Book an appointment today. Log on to SantaClaritaHearingCenter.com, located on McBean Parkway next to the hospital. That's SantaClaritaHearingCenter.com.
Santa Clarita now has its first respiratory treatment center, RenewMed. Whether you've got COPD, COVID complications, asthma, or emphysema, you no longer have to drive out of our valley for treatment. RenewMed is a comprehensive outpatient rehab facility. Along with respiratory treatment, RenewMed's multidisciplinary team includes physicians, respiratory, physical, occupational therapists, and social service professionals. Experience a new kind of therapy. RenewMed on Lyons Avenue, just north of the 5. Visit RenewMedSCV.com. That's RenewMedSCV.com.
Your hometown station.
KHTS is the only station I listen to.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is SCVi and Ilead Schools Eye on the Valley. I am your host, Matt Watson. Jennifer Turnbull, one of the most delightful people you'll ever meet. She teaches art and CTE, that's Career and Technical Education, at Ileadonline. As a matter of fact, she coordinates our CTE pathways at Ileadonline. And again, Ileadonline is our fully accredited K through 12 online charter school. And I know what you're thinking. Kindergarten, Matt? How do you do school in kindergarten online? Well, I tell you what, I meet with our kindergarten facilitator once a month. She's doing amazing things with her kids. And you should see their test scores. They are off the charts this year. They're doing great things with the littles. And clearly, Jennifer and the rest of the high school team are doing amazing things with our older learners. So, Jennifer, do you coordinate just the arts? Because I know you mentioned several different fine arts, career and technical ed pathways. Do you coordinate just the arts programs or all of our CTE programs?
Oh, yeah. I don't have that many credentials, Matt. Yeah, no, I just do the arts ones. I just have an arts credential.
Okay.
But we have credentialed facilitators, and the lady who does the health science and medical technology sector, the biotechnology pathway. She's a scientist and credentialed in that. And then we've got the business guy who worked for a family business growing up, and he's got his business credentials, CTE business credentials. So, yeah, we have to have credentials in order to do this. We don't just have people without credentials.
Well, it's amazing because, I would think, where do you find somebody with a teaching credential in business or biotech? You guys have got a finance pathway. Amazing that you're preparing kids for these careers that way, where oftentimes, there is no other pathway to get an education other than on-the-job training. And then we all know that, well, you can't get a job unless you've got experience. Gosh, what a great way to prepare these kids for so many amazing careers. So let's talk about what it looks like for the learners, right? So they enroll in a photography pathway, a fine arts pathway, a biotech pathway. What does it look like? Does that just become one of the classes that they take, or is there a difference in what they have to complete throughout this coursework?
Yeah, it doesn't become one class. The CTE pathways represent a set of classes. So that first year, they're going to be taking their what we call an intro course or an introduction course, which just introduces them to the subject, introduces them to the pathway. It's like beginning something. And then the second year, where they're either in 10th grade or 11th grade, they're taking a more advanced level of that course and exploring. They could be exploring something different. It just depends on the pathway, but really building off of the foundation from that intro course. And then the third year, when they're either in 11th grade or 12th grade, they take what's called a capstone course. So that completely varies depending on the pathway that the learners are in. But it just depends. But ideally, we want that to be like a special project where students, for example, in my capstone courses, students complete a portfolio, and they can use that portfolio when applying for a job for art or applying to go to an art school. So they really want to be able to produce something in that final capstone course, that final year.
So after 3 years of this rigorous education in a very specific career-related area, you've got to be able to demonstrate that you can do it, at least at some level.
Exactly. And we also, by the way, Matt, forgot to mention, but we actually have middle school intro courses.
Get out.
But they're just so middle schoolers can kind of get their feet wet in a subject before they go to high school if they want to complete a CTE pathway in high school. I mean, it's completely optional. They don't count towards being a CTE completer because you have to be in high school courses to get the credits for that. But I just wanted to mention that too. So it's kind of cute, It's like a little feeder into the CTE pathway sometimes, of course, depending on what the learner's interest is.
Well, and it's so important because oftentimes a 13, 14-year-old has no idea what they want to do when they get into searching for a career. And like you said, getting their feet wet, if photography sounds great to me, and I start down that path and realize, I don't love this. I'm not passionate about this. Maybe dip my feet into finance, and wow, that's the world that really wows me. It can help guide them before they get into the more rigorous pathways and start to head down too far, right?
Right, exactly. And really, it's ideal if they can get all of that out of the way before they go off to try to find a career or to college, right? How many people do we know who've changed careers halfway through? I mean, there's so many people, or changed majors. I changed a major in college. I mean, it was a little bit, it was an arts major to another arts major. It wasn't much of a change, but it was still a change.
Yeah.
And I think the more we can get our younger people geared up for the future, for their futures, really get them planning and just deciding what they like, the more and the more options we can give them to help them with that, the better.
You're
so I'm
absolutely
really excited
right.
about the sports medicine pathway. And I forgot to mention too, we're getting on a new facilitator who's going to be building out a game design pathway. So I'm excited about that.
Gosh, I mentioned that there are literally thousands of CTE pathways out there. You've got most of them there at Ileadonline. Just such a huge variety. This is amazing.
I started second guessing myself after. Yeah, maybe we do have thousands out there.
Yeah, and being able to kind of test these waters before you get into college and career are so important. I've got a good friend who got her degree in interior design, and then went straight into the field, got a job, and found that she absolutely hated it. And so it is so important. Now she was able to go on and found a rather successful charter school organization. You may have known a little something about that person. But it's so impressive how you're able to support your students so well in an online school, and the different things that you're able to offer your kids through these CTE pathways with all the different support that kids get. But that's not it. You also facilitate some AP courses, right? You facilitate AP Studio Art courses at Ileadonline. Can you tell me about those classes?
I do. Yeah, thanks. I'm so excited about those. Those are kind of my personal crown jewel, I think, for my courses. Really, because the learners can earn college credit, which is just so wonderful to get high school credit and college credit for taking a course. I had 3 learners submitting their portfolios to the AP College Board last spring, and all 3 passed, Matt. I'm so excited. All 3 passed. So they all earned college credit for taking the high school Ileadonline AP drawing course and AP 2D design course. Wow. Total of 3 between the 2 courses. So only a few. Last year, we have a larger group in there this year, and it looks like we'll have even more submitting their portfolios to the College Board in the springtime. So I'm very excited about that. I've been doing AP drawing since 2007, and so much work goes into the planning of those courses, like more than all the other courses combined. I mean, not necessarily, that's a hyperbole, but it feels like that sometimes, because you're constantly having to work on that just to stay updated with the College Board requirements and other things. But I just feel so tickled that I've been able to help learners to earn college credit. And we also have other AP courses, too. We have like a handful of AP courses at Ileadonline, so different sciences, math, stuff like that. So
yeah.
Pretty neat.
It is really neat. Online. And I like to say that because of the nature of your guys' online program, you're able to offer everything that a large classroom-based high school is able to offer, but more. But there's one thing I'm sure that you're not able to offer. You're an art teacher, and what's really cool is when an art teacher can set up like a gallery or display their kids' work in the hallways. Something like that just wouldn't fly at an online school, right? You can't have like an art gallery online, can you?
Oh yeah, Matt. You know what? I created the Ileadonline gallery a few years ago for my online learners. I really wanted to showcase their art. I've just been so impressed with the quality of their work, and I would just grade it and then move on, and it saved in our system, but we didn't get to show it off. So I always thought it would be nice, and I got approval from our director, Erin, and I made a little permission slip form for my learners to fill out and have their parents sign. So it was a go. And if anyone's interested in seeing our learners' artworks, you're welcome to go to ileadonlinegallery.weebly. It's a free website, .weebly.com. And you can click on the different pages and see a little bit about digital illustration, beginning drawing, animation courses, and some other courses too on the website. So really nice stuff, really beautiful creations. So many talented artists, so many talented young people out there. So I'm very fortunate that I got the approval to make this little website for us.
Definitely, and I was on there last
So
night.
please go there.
Yeah, there's
Did you go on there, Matt? Oh, thank you.
I did. I went on there. There's some amazing works of art. And as you were speaking about it, the amazing producer Sarah actually dropped it in our Facebook Live feed for our friends that are listening live on Facebook Live. You can just go ahead and click on it and start taking a look at our learners' artwork while we're wrapping up the interview here. Now, last thing, Jennifer, I mentioned that you're quite an accomplished artist yourself. You know, there's that old saying, those that can do and those that can't teach, but you're teaching and leading the kids to do some amazing things, but you certainly can do some amazing artwork yourself. Have you got anything that our listeners might be able to see coming up soon?
Oh, thanks, Matt. By the way, that quote was from an English playwright, I believe. So it was clearly not an educator who wrote that.
Right.
He was just being snappy with that quote. But I do.
Very cute, very
as
cute.
Part of the, you know, right? Cute, but not right. Not true. I disagree. But I actually am part of the Burbank Art Association down here in Burbank, where I live, and we are having our annual fall show at the Betsy Luke Creative Arts Center in Burbank. The opening is this coming Friday, a week from today, at 7 p.m. So if you are in the area and would like to see some nice art, get some refreshments, hang out with some creative types, you're welcome to join us. There's plenty of free parking. It's right near a park, so there's lots of parking. So please feel free to come on out.
Fantastic. So, Jennifer, you're doing, as I mentioned a couple of times, some amazing things with a fully online school that isn't just preparing high schoolers. You guys have kindergarten, actually transitional kindergarten through 12th grade. If any of our listeners are interested in going, I'm not really thrilled with my current experience, I might be willing to dip my toe into an online school. Jennifer, how can they get more information about Ileadonline?
Well, I mean, obviously they could go to the website, ileadonline.org. If they click on the gallery, there's a link to the website there too. And then they could click on the resources and click on the course catalog and just kind of see, like, click around and see if it's a good fit. And I would recommend just clicking the contact button too. I mean, if they're possibly interested, and then reaching out and getting more information that way too. Looks like we have a quick little contact form on our website that they could use. So we're always growing, and we're such a different school. We're really innovative, and I think that we're a really great platform, especially for certain types of learners who just, for whatever reason, prefer this model to traditional models.
Yeah, definitely. Jennifer Turnbull is igniting academic fires and preparing Ileadonline's learners for careers after high school. Jennifer, thanks so much for joining me today. I appreciate it. You have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you, Matt. You have a great weekend, too. Happy Halloween. Stay safe.
Certainly. And like Jennifer said, if you're curious about moving your learner to Ileadonline, we do have openings in a few grades. Just check us out at ileadonline.org. Now, stay tuned. Big T is coming up. He's got lots of laughs and trivia. This is SCVi and iLead School's Eye on the Valley. I'm your host, Matt Watson. We'll be right back on your hometown station, KHTS.
With locations throughout the valley, Providence offers the most advanced technology and therapies for treating cancer in Southern California. Call 1-888-HEALING for your annual checkup or second opinion. The road to healing leads to Providence.
If you need help at home or at the office, call Made For You. Made For You is a locally owned, bonded, and licensed cleaning service with over 20 years of experience. All employees are vetted for your protection. No need to buy products or equipment. The Made For You staff comes complete with everything needed to make your home or office cleaner than ever. Hire Made For You one time, as needed, or an ongoing basis. No room is off limits. Laundry and ironing services are also available. Call Made For You for a free estimate. 255-2922. That's 255-2922.
Excellence isn't just a word, it is what we deliver. Vanguard Protection Group is committed to providing its clients with the highest echelon of protective services available. Our clients not only receive the security services they contract for, but also reports that are well-written, articulate, and thorough. Our patrol officers operate at the highest levels and have an impressive rapport with local law enforcement. With military, police, private policing, and courtroom experience, you can trust that we have the strength to deliver our promise of excellence. Contact Vanguard Protection by calling 661-753-3611 or visiting their website at vanguardprotectiongroup.com.
Marston's Restaurant has been a Pasadena landmark, voted the best breakfast in California by the Food Network magazine. Discover Marston's Santa Clarita location, open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Marston's also has a fantastic catering menu that adds a delicious twist to any event. And they cater picnic dinners for that memorable romantic date. Experience Marston's on Newhall Ranch Road and McBean, or log on to marstonsrestaurant.com.
Summer is here. Try the new Charlie Ice Cold Drink, named after social media megastar dancer Charlie D'Amelio. Charlie's go-to coffee order is a Dunkin Cold Brew with whole milk and 3 pumps of caramel swirl. It's officially on Dunkin's menu nationwide as the Charlie. You'll love it. Dunkin also has new all-day sandwiches and new donut varieties. Order ahead with the Dunkin app and accumulate points. Located on Bouquet Canyon in the Lowe's Shopping Center and on Sierra Highway in Canyon Country. Both with curbside pickup, Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub, and Postmates. Or use the drive-thru at Sierra Highway. Santa Clarita runs on Dunkin.
No words can describe the power of belonging to a group of close friends or being part of a family. Insight Treatment Center was founded more than 20 years ago to give teenagers a community of friends and family as they overcome issues like depression, anxiety, and trauma. The new Santa Clarita location is a COVID-secure environment where distance and good airflow are a priority. As a leader in providing intensive outpatient treatment to teenagers, Insight Treatment Center in Santa Clarita is here to help. Call 888-295-9995 or go online to insighttreatment.com.
Your hometown station, KHTS.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is SCVi and iLead Schools Eye on the Valley. I am your host, Matt Watson, and you know it. It is now time for Big T's 5 Minutes of Fame. However, because he's in the midst of a whirlwind tour of the Deep South, he is now going by the moniker Sweet Tea. Sweet Tea is a longtime resident and leader in the Santa Clarita Valley. He's an executive and philanthropist. He's an amazing father, husband, and community leader. He's a man who could have just as easily had a very successful career as a before model. He's mom's favorite. Big T, welcome to the show.
Good morning, Maddie. How are you?
I'm doing quite well. I know how busy you are. I know how busy you are this week, and so we appreciate you setting aside some time to play with us today.
Yeah, not a problem. I'm in Houston right now, getting ready to head to the airport. So, in fact, Houston Landmark. You want to know where Minute Maid Park is?
Oh, Minute Maid, yeah. Where is it?
Yeah, it's right over there.
Oh, cool. I love in your travels how you point out the landmarks. We do appreciate that there, Big T. Hey, we've got producer Sarah on the line. She's going to be playing with us today.
Cool.
Hi, guys.
Hey, Sarah. All right, Big T, let's do this. Yeah, I forgot to explain the rules, but you guys all know the rules. You keep your hands on your buzzer. Your buzzer is your name, and those people at home get to cheat. They don't have to shout out their name before they answer. They just shout out the answer so they can one-up us.
Cool. Quick topical fun fact to kick us off, if you don't mind. The movie Halloween that was in 1978 had such a tight budget that they had to use the cheapest mask that they could find for the character Michael Myers, which turned out to be a William Shatner Star Trek mask.
Really?
Shatner originally didn't know the mask was in his likeness, but when he found out years later, he said he was honored. But go back and look at it. You can see it. You can see old Shat there.
That is interesting. I heard an interview just last week with Jamie Lee Curtis, and the interviewer told her that to get really hyped immediately before he went on the court, Kobe Bryant used to listen to the soundtrack of Halloween. And when they told Jamie Lee Curtis that, she broke out in tears. She just was like in such awe. So, yeah, I thought it was really interesting.
All right, let's roll.
Let's do it.
Hey, who created the Peanuts?
Frogger.
Sarah.
That would be Charles Schultz.
That is correct.
Oh, I thought it was Jimmy Carter.
Andy Warhol predicted in the future that everyone will have this many minutes of fame.
Sarah.
Frogger.
Sarah.
15.
Right, yet Big T only gets 5.
Yeah, I know, right? Sorry, Warhol, you were wrong.
J. Edgar Hoover served for over 50 years as director of
Frogger.
what government agency? Frogger.
That would be the CIA.
Sarah.
Sarah.
That would be the FBI.
You're so right.
FBI is correct.
She's skunking us. Jeez.
What was the ultimate destination for travelers of the Underground Railroad?
Frogger.
Frogger.
Well, it was the North, but Canada?
Canada's correct.
Alrighty, I'm on the board.
What cheese is served in a classic Greek salad?
Frogger.
Frogger.
Feta.
Feta. And as Erica says, it smells like feet.
That's a weird word to say by itself.
Right?
Feta. Feta.
What continent includes Iran?
Sarah.
Frogger.
Sarah.
Asia.
Asia's correct. Nice job, Sarah.
There we go.
What's the only African city with port cities on both the Red Sea and the Mediterranean Sea?
Frogger.
Frogger.
Egypt.
That is correct. Patty, you there?
Yeah, I know none of this. I got nothing.
You got any Spider-Man questions, Big T?
Right. At what battle did William Prescott say, "Don't fire until you see the whites of their eyes"?
Frogger.
Frogger.
Was it the Battle of New Orleans? I don't think it was.
No, incorrect.
No, I don't think so, yeah.
Farther
I
north.
know it was revolutionary, but I'm Sarah?
Sure, Sarah.
They conquered.
Incorrect. Patty, you got anything?
Battle of Waterloo?
No, Bunker Hill.
Bunker Hill, there we go.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Those were the best days of my life was a line from what Byron Adams song?
Frogger.
Frogger.
Summer of 69.
That is correct.
Well, yeah.
What aquatic critter do Red Wing fans throw on the ice after a goal is scored?
Oh, Frogger.
Frogger.
They hurl octopi.
Yes, they do.
It's so cruel.
Really?
Yeah, their team scores a goal and they chuck octopi onto the ice. It takes minutes to get them all cleaned up.
Aww.
Yeah.
One of the weirdest
clog up
traditions.
the Zamboni?
Right.
I think they use a squeegee to get them off.
But it's funny, during the third period, they stop selling beer, but they start selling calamari. It's crazy.
Right, exactly. All right, Patty, concentrate. What was the first brand of concentrated orange juice?
Oh,
no idea.
Sarah?
Frogger?
Sarah?
I'm going to say Minute Maid, because the
Minute Maid is correct.
Quick.
Nice. We are
What
tied
mountain
5-5.
range what mountain range runs through Oregon and Washington?
Sarah?
Sarah?
The Cascades.
That is correct. Breaks the tie. What soap opera was Ricky Martin in before becoming a recording star?
Frogger.
Frogger.
Was it General Hospital?
Oh, I'm so disappointed in you. Yes, that is correct.
I was about to defend myself saying, how am I supposed to know?
What country provided most of the settings for Lord of the Rings?
Frogger.
Frogger.
That's New Zealand. I know that one.
That is correct.
Huh.
What sitcom theme song was "I'll Be There for You" by the Red
Patty. Friends.
Yes,
I'm on the board. And we have a minute left.
All right. 2 more questions, Big T.
By what name does Marty McFly go by in Back to the Future 3?
Patty.
Sarah.
Oh,
Patty.
Frogger.
Calvin Klein.
Nope.
No.
Sarah?
Sarah?
Oh, I was going to say the same thing, so
Incorrect,
take
Matt.
it away, Frogger.
Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood
that
is
was the
correct.
first one.
Last one.
No,
Last
I
question.
remember.
Who was the first U.S. president to live long enough to see his son become president?
Frogger.
Patty.
Sarah.
Frogger?
John Adams?
John Adams is correct.
Right.
Woohoo! All righty. We do have to wrap it up, and I did pull away. Well, I didn't pull away, but pulled it out there at the end. Thank you very much, Big T. I'd like to thank Dr. Jasmine Rise from COC, Santa Clarita Council Member Cameron Smyth, Ileadonline Art Facilitator and CTE Program Coordinator Jennifer Turnbull, Big T, Producer Sarah, Engineer Patty, and thank you for listening. Join us again next week and every Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. I'm Matt Watson, and this is SCVi, and I lead School's Eye on the Valley on your hometown station, KHTS.